Good afternoon, everybody. Peggy Hubbard here in my office. It is Tuesday, and I'm reading all the news wires and looking at all the information that's coming through about this stimulus package. And I'm finding out some very, very interesting things about this stimulus package, and I don't like it. Even though I'm not running for office, I'm still fighting for you, and I'm still fighting for the truth, and I'm still fighting to get you the information that you should have and know, because the media is not going to tell you this. Now, if you look at the stimulus package on page 134, the Democrats slid in there a raise, a pay increase, if you will, for them. And I believe that figure is somewhere like $25 million. For a pay increase for them. Also, what's interesting that's in this stimulus package bill that the Democrats have tried to slide in under the American people, us, what I found out is this. In that bill, there is a nationwide mandate for ballot harvesting. That's very suspicious to me, especially being a former election judge, and since I'm not campaigning, I'm going to be an election judge again in the general election. So I'm already signed up to do that. So I'm going to be watching the ballots and making sure our voter integrity stays intact. The next thing I found in the bill was $300 million for foreign refugees abroad. $300 million for foreign refugees abroad. That is what they want your tax dollars to go to. Another thing that's interesting in the bill is an automatic visa extension for all foreign workers. This is Dick Durbin's baby. This is the guy I was going to go up against had I would have won the primary. This is Dick Durbin's baby. Dick Durbin has been padding the J-1 visas and making it hard for our children who graduate from college. They cannot get jobs, hence the forgiveness for student loans, because Mr. Durbin is what he's doing is he's padding the immigration, the visas, and these low wage workers that are coming from India and China are getting these jobs, taking it away from our children who are graduating from college that can't get jobs in their technical field because they would have to pay them benefits, medical, dental, 401ks, deferred computation, sick leave, all of those things they would have to pay to an American worker. But when you come here from another country on a J-1 visa, India, China, and other countries, and those are the two heavy hitters, they come and work in these corporations like AT&T, and these workers are actually made to train their replacements, and then they're fired. They're not giving any other jobs within the company of AT&T. AT&T is one of the worst ones who are doing this. They're actually replacing workers with low wage earners from India and China, no benefits, so they're actually working against the American people. The next thing that is in there too is an extension for foreign language ballots. An extension or expansion rather for foreign language ballots. They want to expand it, foreign language ballots. That's another thing. So that's a couple of $1 million right there. That's roughly around $12 million. And then they want, this is key. Pay attention to this part. Same day voter registration for 2020 presidential elections. They want same day voter registration. They talk about the Russian delusion, and foreign interference. There it is right there. They want same-day voter registration for the 2020 presidential election. Y'all didn't hear me. They want Same day registration for the 2020 presidential election. Something is up. This is something that is beyond the coronavirus. This is what they're doing. They are using this virus to push their agenda. People, you need to wake up and pay attention to what's going on around you, because this is far beyond the coronavirus. While they're giving us all this information about the virus and scaring us half to death, behind the scenes, this is what they're doing. They're pushing a whole new world order down our throats, and we're worried about getting money. And by the way, that money you think you're going to get that's going to be tax-free, it's not tax-free. If any of you remember back when we had the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac debacle, and President Bush Jr. gave out the stimulus checks. See, I was working for the IRS at that time. This was considered an advanced tax credit, and this is how this one is going to go down too. People, it's not free. You will be paying that money back. It will be going on your tax return. You will be declaring it. Trust me, it's not free. It's not. You will be declaring this money as a tax payment in advance. You will be putting it on your tax return. They're going to run the same game that we did when we got those stimulus checks back when Bush was in office to jumpstart the economy. What I'm going to do with my check when I get it, since I'm going to have to declare it on my tax return as income, I'm just going to donate my check and write it off as a donation. A charitable donation is what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to give it to the VA or give it to a police organization, something near dear to me, maybe a battered women's shelter. But I'm not going to keep my money. I'm just going to go ahead and donate it and then write it off on my taxes as a taxable charitable donation is what I'm going to do. It's not free. So since it's not free, I might as well just give it to somebody or an organization that can use it. So that's what I'm going to do. The next thing that is in this bill that you guys need to know about, they also slipped in this bill a plan for amnesty for more than 1 million, close to 1,700,000 to 800,000 DACA recipients would be subject to this amnesty, which means they will become U.S. citizens automatically. And when I ran for office, my platform was no amnesty. My opponent, my former opponent, he's for amnesty. Me, I'm not. I'm not. If you come to this country, I want to know that you're self-supporting and self-sustaining. I don't want you on my welfare rolls. I don't want you living in my public housing. We got enough freeloaders in this country. We don't need to add more. So you know what? That is what they're trying to do. They're trying to run an end run around what President Trump has been trying to do for the last almost 4 years. So they want to give 700,000 to almost 1 million people automatic amnesty under DACA. You know what I call DACA? DACA should stand for Democrats Against Children of America. That's DACA. Democrats Against the Children of America. Because they're not doing this for us. Everything I have read to you thus far, has nothing to do with the American people. I don't see anything in there for law enforcement, new technology for border security, helping the VA straighten its mess out and fixing the VA. What else? Strengthening our military. I don't hear anything in this bill that is for the American people. And as a senator, I would be voting against this bill because there is nothing in this bill that's going to benefit the American people. If anything, it's going to weaken our country. They want to give amnesty to almost 1 million people. They want to increase the visa program, which is Dick Durbin's baby, that undermines our children who are graduating from college. No wonder they can't pay their student loans, because they're actually stacking the deck against them before they even get out of college. So you want to give them forgiveness of their student loans. They can't pay their student loans because you fools are putting people ahead of them. You're actually putting these workers out of work, Americans. Jobs that would have went to American people, you want to take that away from them. It's already happening. It's happening in Texas right now at AT&T. It's happening. They're actually forced to train their replacements, and then they're kicked out the door. No severance package, no nothing. How humiliating is that? All for the mighty dollar. Quite frankly, I don't think they should get anything for these businesses and corporations if they're going to be kicking out American workers out of work. I really don't. It's not fair. The next thing that's on the list too is they're taking away, they want to give DACA to illegals, which undermines the working class, which takes away jobs from the blue collar workers. So people, I read to you so far thus what they're trying to do. I have stated my case to you guys that the Democrats are not for you. I haven't heard not one thing in there about helping the inner cities and the rural communities that really need the help. That was my platform when I was running, to help the forgotten communities. There's nothing in this bill that's going to help the inner cities, that's going to revitalize the inner cities, that are going to give money to these predominantly black colleges to advance their college educations. I haven't heard nothing about the VA, which is crumbling. I haven't heard nothing about helping the homeless that are in these Democratic ran cities. Haven't heard anything. Everything I've read to you off this paper is actually for non-Americans. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but do you know you can actually get Social Security if you cannot speak our language? Is considered a disability? Yeah, it's a disability. If you cannot speak our language, you can actually apply to Social Security and get money for not speaking our language, and it's considered a disability. And we have lost billions of dollars in that program under Social Security. No wonder we're going broke. I heard nothing about helping our indigenous people, our Native American people. I heard nothing in this bill about helping the inner city. I heard nothing in this bill about helping the crumbly schools and infrastructure. Our bridges, our roadways are torn up. Nobody's out on the streets. Perfect time to fix it. Get those potholes fixed. I heard nothing in this bill that is actually for the American people. And people, you guys need to pay attention, because one of the things I posted the other day, one of the guys said that this is an opportunity, a tremendous opportunity for us to change and fix our agenda to reflect our values. You're secondary. They're putting non-Americans before you. They're putting non-Americans ahead of all of us. They're holding up aid to help people that really, really need it. They're holding it up to help people not of this country and have nothing invested in this country, but they want to give them all kind of set-asides. Black community, you need to wake the hell up. You are no longer a commodity to the Democratic Party. You are now obsolete. They don't give a damn about you. There's nothing in this bill that is for the black community. There's nothing in this bill that's for rural America. There is nothing in this bill for the American people. It's all for the Democrats. They want to give themselves a raise. They want to give people who are not of this country better benefits than you. They want to give them free housing, free medical, free dental. Hell, I'm about to go across the border and come back so I can get free. You guys laugh. It's not funny. It's not funny at all. It's sad. This is what our forefathers were afraid of when they wrote our Constitution. This is what they warned us about. And this is why, more than ever, we need to hold on to the Second Amendment, because these fools are crossing the line. They are crossing the line. They are giving away our country, and we're sitting back and allowing it. They actually are setting up the 2020 elections to have illegals vote in our elections. Hence the driver's licenses in Illinois for illegals. That was something else one of my opponents agreed upon. Driver's license for illegals. If they get driver's licenses, guess what? They can vote. I can't go to Mexico and vote. I can't go in any other country and vote. That's why we need term limits. That's why we need voter integrity. That's why we need voter IDs. We are one of the only countries that do not have voter IDs. And we need to have them. I guarantee you, if we institute voter IDs, the rolls and registry for Democratic voters will fall exponentially. They will fall off the roll like you would not believe it. We will lose millions of Democratic voters off the rolls. That's why they're moving on from the black community. We are no longer a commodity to the Democratic machine. And now they're stepping over to the illegals. When Dick Durbin said last summer when he came here, when I decided to run, he was working hard for illegals in DACA back in 2019 in August. The warning bells in my head went off, and that's when I decided really I wanted to run. Because he's no longer working for us. He is now working for the illegals in DACA. DACA should go for Democrats against the children of America, because they already stacked the deck against our children, hence the financial aid. They want to slide that in too to appease us, to get these kids on their side. Go ahead and cancel their debts. Go ahead, knock yourself out. Cancel those debts. They still can't get a job because of the J-1 visas. They still can't get a job in their field. So yeah, you eliminate one problem, all for another. They can't get a job because they're bringing over people from China. They're bringing over people from India. They're working for less wages, no benefits. It's a win-win for the corporations. And I, for one, if that is the way they feel and that's what they do, then they should not get bailout money. If you're not going to retain and keep the American people working, you should not get any bailout money. AT&T, Comcast, all these technical places that depend on these J-1 visas and American people are thrown out of work, you should be last on the list to get any bailout. If you're going to stack the deck against Americans, you should get a red damn dime. But I just read to you what exactly is going on. My question to you guys is, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? This is serious. Somebody asked me whether or not I'm going to run again. The likelihood of that is all probability. Yeah, I am. I'm just getting started. I'm just warming up. I'm not going away. Regardless of what my protractors and they say about me. My grandmother always said they can call you all the names you want. They want. It's not the names you call you. It's what you answer to. So I'm putting this information out there so you guys can know what's going on and what they're trying to do. But they want to revise the visa program to give more jobs to people from India and China to help their bottom line. And the Democrats are sitting on some of these boards. So that's what they're trying to do. And they want to expand the foreign language ballots. Hence, the illegals can vote. So if they can't speak English, let's print out some ballots in Spanish and any other language we have to get their vote. This is how they bought us in the black community. They promised us everything and they gave us nothing. They came in like locusts. They consumed our communities destroyed our communities. Now they're moving on. And now they're moving over to the illegals because they are their new voter base. If we give you all the things that they used to give us, they're going to be beholden to us. Thus, we have new slaves for the Democratic plantation. I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for what I'm saying, and I really don't give a damn. And that's what made Peggy Peggy. Peggy's going to say exactly what's on her mind, and she's not going to hold back. And I don't hold back. But people, they're trying to shove this stimulus package down our throats, and nothing in this bill is for hospitals, military, law enforcement, inner city, crumbling infrastructures, job training for Americans. Everything that's in this bill that the Democrats are trying to shove down your throats is to benefit people not of this country that are illegals. So since they couldn't get him on the impeachment, since they couldn't get him out of office, they manufacture and made a lot of people afraid to even leave their homes. They had a hidden agenda all along. And I'm usually not a conspiracy theorist, but they had a hidden agenda. Nothing in this bill is about us, Americans. Nothing in this bill that the Democrats are trying to shove down our throats is about us. It's all about protecting, harvesting, and utilizing another minority group to get their votes and stay in power. It's not about any of us. It's all about them trying to retain their power. It's a lot to think about. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. I appreciate you guys' support. I appreciate you guys listening. And I'll be back next week with some more information. But that is one of the things that's happening. Nationwide mandate for ballot harvesting.